We've still got a long way to go for Mortal Kombat 11. More content is coming. More changes are most likely on their way. Balance patches will come. But today, in this video, we've got to look at how Mortal Kombat 11 is doing now. Because looking at the game now is the starting point to determining what should change. And that's what this video is going to be all about. Talking about the state of Mortal Kombat 11. First, I'd like to thank you all for supporting my channel. You all have been great in showing your support. I recently started streaming and have been doing it for 2 weeks now, and it's been incredibly great and so much fun. You guys are enjoying the content, and if you guys would like to help out this channel, make sure you drop a big thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you haven't already, as I would very much appreciate it. And if you haven't tuned into my streams yet, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hope to see you there. The most important thing we have to acknowledge is how the players are feeling about the game right now. The players are the majority. Now, it's easy to cherry pick a person's opinion from a place like Twitter, where one person could tweet out, MK11 sucks, Aftermath was terrible. A certain person with a big amount of followers says the game sucks and the tweet activity could be high, with 300 likes on the tweet and 50 retweets, let's say. I've seen too many people point to these instances and claim MK11 is in a terrible state and say, hey, look, see, Mortal Kombat 11 is bad because this person said so. But the reality is that's just Twitter being Twitter. Just because someone who has FGC in their name and has over 1,000 Twitter followers and his or her MK11 sucks tweet has 300 likes does not reflect the majority of how people are feeling about the game. Now, for those who aren't on Twitter and maybe engaged with the MK community through different sources, whether it's Discord, a Facebook group, the subreddit, may hear what I am saying right now and ask, well, why would you take what Twitter says into account? It's Twitter. And you're absolutely right. The problem is that too many people point into that direction as a reference to the state of Mortal Kombat 11. Well, I've got some news. On Twitter, I did a poll asking you guys how you feel about the state of Mortal Kombat 11, and the majority of you believe that it is in a good state, but needs some changes. Now, you may correctly point out that it's only 300 people who were polled in this poll, and that's not enough people. And another point is that, well, it's a Twitter poll, and you just got finished slamming people referencing Twitter. Well, first I'd like to say that even in a place where people like to spit out these hot takes, the majority of the results still painted a positive view on the game. And second, I did another poll that I put on the community tab here on this YouTube channel asking you all the same question. This time, over 6,200 people participated, and overwhelmingly, 70% of people believe the same, that Mortal Kombat 11 is in a good state but needs some changes. Now, of course, 6,200 isn't reflective of all the players, and it's still a small portion of all the players, but still, it is a good sense of what people are feeling. And plus, I feel like I'm the only one polling people on these questions anyways. We got the Aftermath expansion 2 months ago, with the scale of the content given to us never before seen in any NetherRealm game. A new story, 2 hours worth of expansion, giving DLC characters their first chance to be a part of a story mode and having their own chapters. Though not flawless with every story decision, it has genuinely pleased a lot of people and pleased me very much, as this is coming from someone who you all know very well is very critical when it comes to the story of this franchise. We got a character pack where the Mortal Kombat characters outweighed the guests, giving Fujin one of the most triumphant returns in all of Mortal Kombat, which benefits the perception of the character and credibility to NetherRealm shall they bring another character from his era back into the game. All characters offer different and unique playstyles from each other, and none seem out of place in the tier list, holding their own ground when playing against an already big roster that's going to get bigger. 4 new stages, none of which look mediocre, and the quality being NetherRealm's design at their best, especially when they took one of the least popular classic stages, the Soul Chamber, into one of the best in Mortal Kombat 11, bringing a classic and beloved finisher that we have not seen since 1996, friendships for every character, injecting the fun goofiness the series always had into today's game, embracing more of what's in the DNA of Mortal Kombat, and finally, stage fatalities, which is another staple from the classic era of Mortal Kombat. However, as big as that content sounds, we can't stop there. We also have to acknowledge something important here, and that is, although the players feel that Mortal Kombat 11 is a good state, they also believe there needs to be more change done, more content. And although those people over on Twitter spitting out those hot takes, they are still voices, and they are still players, and their criticism should be taken into account. Pretending that everything is fine and ignoring those who aren't satisfied isn't how you make progress. You aren't going to satisfy everyone, of course. It's one of the few things you can't just quite get, but you can try, and you can take measures on those problems. Because although Mortal Kombat 11 state is working for many players, it has problems. Not just in the game, but outside of it as well, and we're going to acknowledge them. Ultimately, great things came with the Aftermath update, but there were some changes it brought that were questionable. The first major thing is the armor breaker. The main purpose behind the armor breaker mechanic was to address the breakaway problem, which a lot of people had leading into the Aftermath update. The reason why a lot of people have a problem with breakaway is that it denies one person's success. As a Scarlet main, launching my opponent and opening up a combo with 2-1-2 can be denied immediately, closing the door for my combos by the opponent breaking away. Why am I being denied my successful read, punish, counter, and overall decision? I can tell you as a Scarlet main, and I can't speak for all Scarlet mains, but I don't get to land my 2-1-2 string very often, since I am often staggering and zoning my opponent. So by the time I get my opportunity, I am denied that. Imagine in an extreme case, where there is a mechanic that exists in the game that allows the player who takes a significant amount of damage to refill their health bar after they take that damage. What would that do? That would deny the other player who got that damage on you his or her successful combo, read, punish, counter, and again, overall their decision. All other fighting games generally reward you by default. This causes a lot of frustration. Being denied your successful move is not fun. You still have to guess when you open up your opponent for a combo on whether or not they're going to do a breakaway after you successfully guessed yourself where to block against your opponent. And sometimes you just have to settle for leaving your opponent alone, basically intentionally dropping your combo because you are waiting for them to break away, or settling for an uppercut to get some sort of damage during the breakaway. Or maybe you still go in for the combo and they break away at a certain point and you get whiff punished for punishing them. The solution to this problem? Well, again, NetherRealm gave us the armor breaker mechanic to deal with people using breakaway, denying their attempt to deny you. Seems good, right? Well, guess what? You still have to guess if they will use their breakaway at all. So you are remaining in the guessing loop when you make a successful move to get your combos and damage. And if you guess wrong, you are denied your combos. Now, keep in mind, the mechanic doesn't harm the game at all, but it also does not accelerate it nor fix the breakaway problem. The problem is guessing and not being sure that your combo will be given to you even when you made the right move to get that combo. A solution that I would suggest is to remove breakaway completely. I am not a fan of a mechanic that makes you unsure of your combo potential when you made the right moves to get that combo in the first place. You may say, well, I want to get my opponent off me. I want to have a second chance. Well, part of fighting games is that one of your goals should be to not allow your opponent to even have you think about getting a second chance. If you fucked up, you fucked up. I understand the feeling of not meaning to do a certain move you did, and because of that, you want your chance back because you fucked up. Well, you shouldn't get that chance back at the cost of someone who deserves the combo they are aiming for because of your mistake. It's simply not a great game design. You may also say, well, what's the point of the armor breaker if breakaway is taken out of the game? Well, you still have moves with armor in this game. Fatal blows have armor, and interactables can be armored up, so the mechanic can still be used. Speaking of fatal blows, this is another problem that is yet to be dealt with. Look, I'll put it this way. I think we can all agree that the least they can do to deal with people using fatal blows irresponsibly, mashing fatal blows constantly, and stealing rounds and wins is to at least change it to where you lose your turn if you don't land a fatal blow, meaning you don't get your fatal blow back when you don't land it. Considering how powerful fatal blows are, they can literally give you the possibility of stealing a round, and you can almost use it irresponsibly and be rewarded. There has to be some sort of cost when you attempt something that is as powerful as it is and don't get it. Yes, there is the natural punishment like every other move, but even then, you still have a chance to use it again by literally doing nothing. There is nothing that'll make you get the fatal blow back other than literally doing nothing. That needs to go. For a mechanic that is as powerful like that, it needs to be regulated, and I believe the best way is to say if you use it once and if you miss it, that's it. I understand that the goal with fatal blows was for the players to experience these super moves in ways that are special, because you only get it once your health bar is at a certain low point. But the fact of the matter is that people mash this, and if you change it to where you only get this move once, and if you miss it, you can't get it again, it will incentivize people to be a little bit more careful with how they use this move, which would reduce the amount of times you see people mashing this move. And when you do see this move successfully landed, it'll feel a little more special now, since now the ultimate goal is to use it only when you are sure you are going to land it and benefit from it, making the goal of this mechanic achieved in a way that satisfies a lot of players and also the way NetherRealm intended. Another problem is the way throws work. Throws are incredibly strong in this game, especially considering the fact that a good amount of them have crushing blows attached to them. What my problems with the throws in this game is that it is a true 50-50 if I get thrown. I have the option to escape the throw based on if I guess right on which direction they throw me, and if I guess wrong, they have access to a crushing blow, and then 20 seconds later I eat shit the next time they throw me, because I don't know what direction they're going to throw me in. It's a literal coin flip. So how I would change the throw problem is to either make the throws a little bit more reactable to give you a little bit more time to think about a throw break, or change it to where you get a crushing blow after 2 failed escapes from your opponent. To me, that would make more sense because, oh, you guessed wrong in one direction? Well, if you guess wrong in the other direction, then that's when you eat shit the 3rd time. It would reduce the effect on how powerful throws are because now you have a greater chance to escape the throws too, since you have more chances. And really, the only way to counter throws is to literally do nothing and to let go of block, hoping that you can get a down 2 crushing blow. So you risk getting full comboed in order to try and counter a throw. To me, throws just need some sort of regulation, and that's an idea of how I would change them. Lastly, in terms of major issues that I feel need to change for Mortal Kombat 11 is that it has come to my attention and many other people's attention because it is an issue on the rise, and that is DDoSing. If you don't know what DDoSing is, basically someone on the other side when you are playing online shuts down your internet, and sometimes it takes 20 minutes for your internet to come back on, and sometimes it'll take 6 hours for your internet to turn back on. It is incredibly infuriating to have this happen to you, and the fact that it seems to be a growing issue for Mortal Kombat 11 in Combat League is unacceptable and should be taken very seriously. Apparently, this is something that happens to streamers and content creators, and Rio made a video about it to put awareness on this issue, and that's what I'm going to be doing in this video as well, because this clearly needs to be solved and something that needs to be done, and something needs to be done about it before it becomes a larger issue. Now, I have to admit, I don't know how you would have to deal with that when you are in the shoes of the developers, but if there's any way for NetherRealm to regulate DDoSers and DDoSing, then it should be one of the first priorities. In terms of things outside the game, the one thing that I really want to see changed is the communication on NetherRealm's part. Look, we know we are getting the 3 Aftermath skin packs sometime this year. However, what's the progress with those? What's the deal with them being released over time and not when the Aftermath update launched? Did COVID cause some delays? Are you working on your last skin or on your last skin pack? What's happening here? Not a single developer has commented on these questions, and not one thing about them has been said. Look, all we are really asking for is a simple, harmless update like, we have just begun the final stage of development for the skin packs. Once we get closer to fully completing them, that's when we will be ready to announce a release date. That's literally all you have to say. Though we weren't given a release date, we still at least know the progress that's being made and where it's at right now. I understand that you aren't ready to announce a release date, but at least can we know some sort of progress update? And that's not just for the skin packs. Other things like addressing the hitbox issues MK11 has. We constantly ask, hey, what's going on with this? And nothing about it is being said. Can you at least say, thanks for pointing this to our direction? We will see if we can change this in a hotfix update or something? Point is that I would really like to see better communication on NetherRealm's part. I hate how we have to stalk them on Twitter to see if they said anything in reply to someone's tweet, or if they are in someone's Twitch chat and they said something in a Discord message or something like that. Just make a forum post, or make a post on the MK subreddit. Make small statements that show communication. MK11 is a great game, and we've still got a lot of content that is coming our way, with more characters, more modes, and who knows what else. If Aftermath says anything, it shows how unpredictable NetherRealm is. We had no idea we'd ever see a story mode DLC, and guess what? We got it. Nor seeing MK Deception Sub-Zero back, and we got it. We are midway into 2020, and we are still waiting for those skin packs. 2021 Mortal Kombat 11 will be something to keep our eyes on, as Mortal Kombat 11 definitely looks like it's here to stay, and people are enjoying it. Yes, we would all like to see more characters and content, but first, I believe the most important things to tackle are the throws, the fatal blows, breakaway, and DDoSing. If you fix those, you are doing nothing but greatness for the game, and proving that Mortal Kombat 11 is a great game. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think about Mortal Kombat 11 right now, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Mortal Kombat content. Anyways, I will see you all very, very soon.